Hello everyone. I would like to extend a warm welcome to our new viewers, as well as those who have seen our first video. Today, I'm thrilled to announce that we have a very special guest with us, Mr. Mebes from Freie Universität Berlin, and I apologize for my German pronunciation, which is known as one of the world's leading research universities. We hope that this session will not only benefit our students at Hırdavan Tadris Merkezi, but also any student in Azerbaijan with a dream of pursuing higher education. So, without further ado, Mr. Mebes, to you.
Yeah, thank you very much for your warm introduction. I am now going to share my presentation with you. I am working at the Freie Universität in Berlin for 8 years now, and also have been studying at this university before that. And I want to give you an overview of what we offer and what you could expect if you want to study here in Berlin. First of all, this is, as you can see, a map of the country of Germany, and the capital is Berlin, which is situated in the northeastern eastern part of the country with roughly 4 million people living there. And within Berlin, this now is a map of the city of Berlin. The university where I am working and that I'm presenting to you today, we are in the southwest of the city. It's a quite green area, as you can see from this image. But it takes just half an hour by train to go to the city center where most students live. They rather not live in this area because except for the university, it's a rather I don't know area for maybe people who are not a lot of villas, a lot of people with high standard of living standard, let's put it that way. I am sitting right now in our Student Services Center. That's the building that you will find if you arrive at one of the U-Bahn stations, one of the subway stations. And at the Student Service Center, you find the first address for many things that you can find at the university. As you can see, this is the place where you find an information service that we call info service. I am working at the General Academic Advising. And we have also a psychological counseling, as you can see, a student mobility unit if you want to take a semester or two abroad, the admissions office, where everyone has to send the applications to. Of course, it's online, but the people here have to decide if you can have a study place or not. And as you can see, there are also other service institutions in this center. Maybe one more word to this presentation. As you can see, this is bilingual. It's in German and in English. We usually use this kind of presentation for international groups because German is an important language in the universities of Germany. Usually you have to study in German, although there are some exceptions. But so if you want to study at a public university in Germany, which 90% of the students in Germany do, then you most likely will have to study in German. I will come to this in a few minutes. I just wanted to highlight the institution where I am working again at General Academic Advising. And now some general data about this university. We were founded 76 years ago, shortly after Second World War ended. And this is also, let me put a sentence on that, the reason why the university is called Freie Universität, which translates as free university. The name free derives from the fact that after the Second World War, or the end of Second World War, Berlin was divided into 4 sectors, right? The British sector, the American sector, the Soviet sector, and the French sector. And the other big university in Germany, the Humboldt University, was situated in the Soviet sector. And back then, because of the political tensions, some students and lecturers found the studying at the Humboldt University as not so free, and that's why they founded a new university in the American sector of the city, and that's why they called it Freie University, free university, just to give you an idea why we have this name. It's not that it's free admission. We don't have tuition fees. Speaking more of free. You don't have to pay a tuition fee. That's true for all public universities in Germany. You don't have to pay a tuition fee, but you usually pay a semester fee of, depending on university, 200 to 350 euros a semester. At my university, it's currently 300 euros, including a transportation ticket. So all the students can use all the buses, all the trains in the city, which is the most convenient way to go within the city for most people. Okay, as you can see, we have 33,000 students. Is that number a high number or a low number? The biggest universities in Germany have 50,000 students, and we rank among the 15 top 15 universities when it comes to the number of students. In Germany, you can also find universities that have just 3,000 or 4,000 students. So it's very diverse how big a university actually is. As you can also see, every fifth student at our university doesn't have a German passport, so 20% are foreign students. We have a number of departments and a lot of degree programs here. I cannot introduce you to all of them, but in the next slide, I will introduce you to the main departments we offer, because department is like a place where several study programs are offered. So as you can see here is a, not list, but you can see an image. Oops, there was a timer, sorry. You can see here the departments, for example, Department of Earth Sciences or Department of Political and Social Sciences. And each department consists of several institutes. For example, at the Political and Social Sciences department that you can see in the bottom line of the departments, there are 4 institutes. One institute for sociology, one institute, well-renowned institute for political science, one institute for media and communication studies, where I have been studying, and one institute for social and cultural anthropology. And then the white squares here, the white squares are so-called central institutes. That means there are institutes themselves, but they don't belong to a certain department because they're so interdisciplinary that they cannot be part of one department. For example, if you study East European studies at our university, you have something of political science, you have something of even business economics of that area, and also philosophy and cultural studies. So it's all together in those institutes. Maybe not biology, but some of the things. To learn more about our degree programs, there are some websites I would like to share or give you as an example. Sorry for this again, this timer. I'm sorry, maybe it should work now. First of all, we have something we call OSA. On the left-hand side, you see this OSA. There you can find out more about our study programs. For example, you can, sorry for that, you can go to psychology or political science or whatever, and you find more about what to expect in that program. You can see some interviews with professors and also some students who are telling you more about this program. And you can also make some example tasks. If you want to know what can I expect in law studies, you can do some tasks and you will see that will be something you will be dealing with during your studies. The second one is our orientation program. If you don't know what to study and you want to try out, we give you room for 1 year to check out all the programs and in the same year you go to a maybe biology course and to a mathematics course, but also to a political science and maybe, let's say, art history course or classes. Then, as you can see, we have something we call a Botschafter, which is like student ambassadors. They kind of are there to help you find out more about the study programs. You can ask them questions. You find videos of them online. And the last one would be a tour through the university. And also, if you speak German and you understand German, you can come to something we call Uni im Gespräch. This is like online until March 24. So you just need to go to that website, which is on the top left, berlin.fu/Uni im Gespräch. And you can just join those. Sorry for that. I don't know. It's not going all through all the presentation, I promised, but some of the slides have this timer that I forgot to turn off. On the right-hand side, you can see the topics we offer. And if you find something interesting, and you, as I said, if you do speak the language good enough, you can go there and learn more about this. Should you be in Berlin next year, maybe in June, then you just can come by to our university, and we have some study information days on 11th and 12th of June. So if you're in Germany, check out the website fu-berlin.de/infotage, and you find out more about what we offer. Now it should be enough with the timer, I hope. Now, some information about our student life. What can you expect from studying here? Just a few impressions, so to speak. First of all, we have a winter and a summer term. And in the winter term, you have courses that last from mid-October to mid-February. And in summer semester, you have courses from mid-April to mid-July. That means during the other times, from mid-July to mid-October, you usually don't have any courses, but it doesn't mean you have free time. You usually have to do an internship, or you do some exams even. So it's not entirely free time. Yeah, some more impressions. This is a typical lecture hall and a typical seminar room where you have the courses. In the lecture hall is usually bigger and more students attending. In the seminar room, usually smaller. And this is some images about the dining hall and student cafes where you can spend the times between some courses. So there's a lot we offer. Also, you can do sports and music at the university. We have a university sport with lots of programs from, I don't know, volleyball to a fitness club to doing water sports, whatever. And we also have a Collegium Musicum, which means you can also play, sing in a choir or play in a big band. Now, my already last part, but maybe most complicated part, is about the application and the entrance to universities in Germany, not only at Freie Universität, but to all public universities in Germany. Because what's important is that you have an entrance qualification that allows you to study at the German university. And there are different types of entrance qualifications depending on your high school diploma and depending on your experience at universities, maybe in your own country. I can give you an example in a minute. So if you go to this website, annabien.kmk.org, as you can see on the top of this presentation, you can look for your country. In that example, you don't see a country, you see that somebody chose IB, but you could choose Azerbaijan. And then you could see all the kind of diplomas that you could earn in Azerbaijani schools. And then you look for your diploma and you can find out if you can study at the German university, or if you can only study under certain conditions, or if you have to do a preparatory course, or if you have to study in your country first before you can study in Germany. Those are the options. This website, though, is only available in German, but there is another website that is also available in English that has the same information. Maybe that's better for you if you don't speak fluently German. So if you go to Uni Assist, that's the website on top again, and you go to this check thing, it's called Check Hochschulzugang, then you can again type in your country. Here it is Switzerland as an example, but of course you could choose Azerbaijan again. You choose the diploma that you have, and it will tell you what kind of entry qualification you have. Maybe let me explain that a bit more. You either have a direct access or you have an indirect access to German universities. A direct access is, of course, means you can immediately study. And indirect access means you have to take a preparatory course at a so-called Studienkolleg. That's an institution at German universities where you learn in 1 year more about the system of studying and also German language. And only after that can you apply for some certain subjects. And if you have a direct access again, that means you can study immediately. There are also two different options with the direct access. You either can study all subjects. It's called a general entry qualification. So that would be the best option. So you can study immediately and you can study whatever you want. But many also have an access only to specific subjects. And in Germany, we compromise all our subjects that we offer at the universities usually into 4 groups, and you are usually qualified for one of those groups. And those 4 groups are medical programs. So if you have a specific subject qualification for medical programs, it means you can, for example, study medicine, but you can also study something like biology or pharmacy. Then the second one is technical programs. So you can study any engineering programs like civil engineering or architecture or something like that. Or you have you are qualified for social sciences and humanities. So with that you can study like history or political science or languages. And the fourth one would be for business and economic courses. So you can study those programs. Yeah, usually people from non-EU countries have an indirect access, meaning they have to do the Studienkolleg thing. But if you study 1 or 2 years at a university in your country, then you might turn this indirect access to a direct access without doing the Studienkolleg. So usually people with a non-EU degree have the choice to either do the Studienkolleg in Germany or do 1 or 2 years in their own country, and then they will be have the same qualification level and can study at a German university. German language skills. As I mentioned earlier, many German universities offer their programs only in German language. At my university, we have only one bachelor degree that is not taught in German, and this bachelor degree is called North American Studies. For all the other programs, you need German language skills. If you come for a master program, that's different. We have quite a lot of master's programs now in English language. But if you want to study a bachelor, not only in my universities, but in many public universities, you will most likely have to study in German. Although I must say, even though the language of instruction is German, much of the literature, many books and texts you will be reading are in English. So you are required to have English skills as well. Usually you need both language skills, German and English, to be successful. Yes, this I already told you, kind of. If you have an indirect access to German universities, then you can take the Studienkolleg course. And as I told you, we have 4 different types of courses. If you have questions on that, maybe we can say something, or I can say something about that later. But you get an idea that this is like preparing you for doing those kind of study programs afterwards. Now some words on the application deadlines. This is also true for all public universities in Germany. We have a winter semester and a summer semester, and for the winter term you have to apply until July 15th, and for the summer term until January 15th. But let me tell you that most universities only offer their programs, or most of their programs, only to the winter term. So 90%, or maybe 80 to 90% of all students start in the winter semester. In the summer semester, the most universities offer just a handful of study programs. For example, at my university, if you want to study biochemistry, chemistry, pharmacy, medicine, or mathematics, you can start twice a year. You can start to the winter semester or to the summer semester. For all the 90 other programs, you only can start in the winter term. Yeah, so most likely people start in October and have to apply until July 15th. As you can also see on the bottom of this slide, there are some exceptions. However, those exceptions here only apply to you if you have an EU citizenship. If you don't have an EU citizenship, never mind this. And it's also only for those programs mentioned there. But I assume that nobody has an EU citizenship, so we might as well go on. There are some more exceptions. For example, admission-free programs. What does it mean? Usually in Germany, the programs have an admission limit because we have the experience that there are more applicants than places available. And so only the best will be chosen. So if you, for example, want to study medicine or you want to study psychology, you need very good grades to be able to study this, because you will be selected by your grade, and this grade has to be good. Then there are some other programs which are not so popular as medicine and psychology, which are really the most popular programs in Germany. And some are so, I don't want to say unpopular, but not so many people want to study the programs that they don't have an admission limit. And so everybody can join who meets the admission requirements. And for those programs, you can also apply later than July 15th, usually. But it's just a small number of programs. For example, at our university, mathematics is one of those programs where we have a lot of places, but the interested is not that big anymore in mathematics, so everybody can join this program. Also, there's an exception. Usually the universities offer a lottery. This means if you miss the deadline and there are still places available in this program, then you can apply for a lottery. So the rest, the places that are left over, will be given in a lottery to the people. So it's not about the grades then, it's just about luck. There are different application pathways. So for so-called single subject programs where you only study one subject, you apply via an institution called Hochschulstaat, or you need to need a certain let's say, ID from Hochschulstaat. You get like a number with which you can apply at all the universities in Germany. However, this only, again, applies for people with an EU citizenship. So as I assume you don't have EU citizenship, you only need to know that you have to apply via UniAssist. I mentioned UniAssist earlier. That's also a website where you can find out more about your entry qualification. And UniAssist will also be the website where you apply if you neither have a EU citizenship nor a German Abitur, so which should be the case if you come from Azerbaijan. And UniAssist, it's a service not only for my universities, but for, let's say, roughly 60 to 70% of the universities in Germany. So no matter if you want to study at my university or at Humboldt University in Berlin or at the University of, let's say, Cologne or so on, you usually apply via UniAssist. But then again, there are some universities that don't use UniAssist. For example, Heidelberg or Munich. The LMU in Munich, they don't use UniAssist, just to give an example. But most likely you will apply via UniAssist. And if you have to apply via UniAssist, it will be an online application, and you have to pay 75 euros for your application, because what UniAssist do is they check your entrance qualification for you and tell you if you have to do the Studienkolleg, or if you don't have to do the Studienkolleg. And if you don't have the Studienkolleg, if you have a direct access, they will forward your application to the university. So you don't have to do anything else than applying via UniAssist. That will be the only address that is relevant for you. So it's convenient, but it's not for free. When we select the students, I told you earlier that we usually select by the grades. but there are also different quota, like at my university, 8% of all study places in each of the programs, so 8% in psychology and 8% in history and 8% in biochemistry, 8% of those study places are given to people who don't have an EU citizenship. This is very diverse in Germany. Some universities have less, I don't know, more is very unlikely. My university has a quite high number of study places for non-EU citizenship. In Berlin, it's usually 5%. But yeah, we select the people still by grade, but we kind of make an own, you only are, how can I put this? You will not be in the same quota as Germans, for example, or EU citizens. You have your own quota, and if you have a very good grade or good grades, you have more chances to get in than other non-EU citizens. It can be an advantage or a disadvantage to be an EU citizen, depends on the study program, I would say. For example, let's give me two examples. In law, it is usually way easier for non-EU citizens to get a study place. In pharmacy, it's usually way more difficult for non-EU students to get a study place. And the rest of the study places, if you would be an EU citizen or have a German Abitur, then it's more complex, but I don't want to go more into detail here. Maybe the last two slides. To find more information about the whole studying process in Germany and at my university, there are some good links here. You can go to Higher Education Compass, which is a search engine for degree programs. So if you don't know what is offered or where it is offered, you can look for, let's say, medicine, and you can see all I think it's 30 universities, something like 30 universities in Germany that offer medicine, and you can find out where are they. And the DAAD is the German Academic Exchange Service. This is a good portal for international students, especially when it comes to something like scholarships or financing your studies. Hochschulstart, as I told you, is an information application portal for single subject programs, but it's more relevant for EU students, not so much for non-EU students. And UniAssist is the website for internationals with which you apply. And yeah, so that should be like at least 3 of those websites should be very helpful if you want to take a university career or studying career in Germany. And last but not least, we have an information service here at the university. So if you have questions on studying, questions on applying, or something relevant to the university, to my university, to Freie University, then you can call us or write an email. Or should you be in Berlin, you can also just come by and talk to us in person. Okay, so much for the presentation.
Thank you very much. So since the technology had disappointed us this morning and our student's mic doesn't work properly, to make it resemble more like Q&A, I guess Mabel and I will be asking you these questions that they have. I've got the questions right now. So I guess we can start our Q&A session.
Okay, sure,
okay,
fine.
So the first question is, what support services does Freie Universität Berlin offer to assist international students in adapting to academic and cultural challenges?
I go back to one of my first slides, namely this one here, the Student Services Center. We have all of these offers, all of these institutes that are named here are available to any student at the university. Doesn't matter if it's international or national. But part of my team of the general academic advising, we have a new support service called IBI. It's really kind of brand new, meaning it's for international students to get to them, you just can, when you're studying here, you just go to our student services center or you write an email. But what they offer is also information events on how do I write a thesis in Germany, what expectations do I face when I'm studying in Germany. That might be different from where I come from. So this is an offer that we have at the moment. It's still really only starting to exist. So we don't have many, not even an own website already, but it's establishing right now, as I said. And if you are going to study next year or the year after, you will be finding some people to talk about those topics.
Okay, second question, how does your university support students' personal and career development?
Mhm. Maybe one more word about German universities in general. It's maybe a bit different to other countries like the UK, where you pay a lot of money for the university, but you also get a good counseling all the way through the university career and your personal career development. I'm not saying that we don't have a good advising, of course, but we don't have like this very good counseling on your career path. We do have something called career service. So this is an institution within the university that gives, for example, workshops on how to apply or how to look for a job, and even where could I start looking for jobs and those kind of things. But it's not really like counseling, in-depth counseling maybe. But then again, what we also offer is that in Germany, there's something called Federal Employment Agency. Like if you're looking for jobs in Germany, you can go there. And my university is a partner with this agency. So we have at least one person here at the university from this employment agency that you can also talk to if you have questions about the job market and those kind of things.
Okay, so this student has a long question. It has two parts. It says, firstly, could you share any unconventional or creative teaching methods that you have found effective in medical education? Secondly, do you have any general advice for future medical university students?
Mhm. The first part is hard for me to answer because I'm not very familiar with the exact teaching methods of medicine. What I can say about this is maybe only that when you study medicine and also you study pharmacy or veterinary medicine or dentistry in Germany, you don't study a bachelor or master's program, but you study something we call state exam. Because to become a dentist or a doctor or something like that, you need a different kind of education in Germany. And those state exams have their own rules and their own teaching. And usually you have like a lot of, in the first semesters, a lot of input on physics and biology and all this basic stuff, and only later it gets more and more practical. But in Berlin, that's one of only two exceptions in Germany where it's different, where you have practical practical parts of studying already in the beginning. So it's much more it's a bit unconventional, and it means you start with practical phases or practical parts right from the beginning. And to the second part of the question, general advice for future medical students, I would say perseverance. It's a long study program in Germany. It takes at least 5 years. And you have a lot to do, a lot to learn there. It's considered a quite hard study program, but the outcome is you get a very well-paid job in Germany and or maybe even in another country. So it's the most popular study program is medicine.
Okay, thank you. We have a question from the chat. It says, how does Freie Universität Berlin envision the future of higher education in light of the evolving landscape of education, and what steps is it taking to adopt?
The future of higher education in the light of evolving landscape of education. Is it referring to AI and those things, or am I
I think
getting?
so, yes.
Yeah, I mean, AI is a big topic at the universities and how to deal with it. So far, my university is having the idea that we should use it for science. We should not, like prohibit it, and students shouldn't use it because we cannot keep the students from using it anyway. So we try to find a way to dealing with it, and at the same time keep the creative input of the students themselves. Meaning, we hope it is a tool to help students, and at the same time, we want to know what of the AI did they use for their work. But I don't know. There are so many different degree programs and so many different kind of types of studying. So if you study philosophy, it's very different from studying bioinformatics or studying computer science. So I think each of those programs has their own idea of how university education will be in the future. So, but I think German universities in general, or my university, are aware of things like there's a changing landscape of education, as you put it, and yeah, I don't know if I can really answer the question in total, but that's my take on it. Be open to new technologies.
So this question is very interesting. What academic programs or majors is Freie Universität Berlin known for?
Maybe I show this slide again for that. I would say what we are known for, maybe 4 or 5 specific programs. First of all, oh no, this again. In the political and social sciences, we have a study program called political science. That's maybe the most well-known program at the university. First of all, you cannot study political science anywhere else in the region of Berlin or the region around. So we are the the only choice, so to speak. But also in the 1960s, in Germany, there was a big movement from students against the kind of conservative way of teaching, and Frankfurt and Berlin were like the headquarters, so to speak, of this movement. And so this political movement started in Frankfurt and Berlin. So that's why it's also very, very well known, this institute. The second, I would say, is our School of Business and Economics. Maybe also Frankfurt and Mannheim are even more well known in Germany for business and economic courses, but Freie Universität ranks quite high in business and economic programs. The third one is veterinary medicine, so animal medicine. There are only 5 institutes in Germany where you can study this, and one of this is here in Berlin. The fourth one will be in part of the earth science, is something we call meteorology. I don't know the English term even for it. It's kind of a weather science or climate science. And my university is the university who gives the names to the winds. For example, in Europe, the winds or the wind fields, they have names. Like, for example, a storm might be called Sebastian. And my university is the university who gives those names to the storms and to those things. And maybe last but not least, my university is well known for having a lot of subjects in philosophy, humanities, history, and cultural studies that you don't find anywhere else. We have very specific programs on, I don't know, I just cannot think of the English term right now. But for example, Iranian studies, not so many universities offer something like the study on Iran, or Turkish studies, for example. those area studies, but also North American studies is quite unique the way it is done here. So yeah, we are known for like small subjects, but not very often available in Germany. But also maybe one more word, maybe you already found out, we don't have any engineering programs, no architecture, no civil engineering or chemical engineering or something like that. That's the whole aspect we miss at this university.
Okay, next question is, what resources or support systems are available to students who are facing academic challenges?
Yeah, I think if you face academic challenges, the first address to talk to is the general academic advising, so my team. There's a lot more than just us, because it all depends on what problem you are facing. For example, if you have maybe even psychological problems, as you can see, there's a psychological counseling. We also have some support points at the departments where you can turn to. And so if you turn to us, you will definitely get some help. So this is for everybody, and this is well used, and we try to help people with their study programs and with their career. And in my opinion, or in my experience, it helps to talk to us if you face some challenges, because most of the challenges, from my experience, derive from wrong ideas of how it is. For example, people expect the whole system to be more strict than it actually is. They heard something here or heard something there, and they're maybe even afraid to talk to their professors. And in the end, turns out even the professors are not that are easygoing, and they're trying to help you. And so if you face problems or challenges, contact us, and we try to get through it together.
Okay, so this one is asking about, can you highlight an inspiring or unique success story of an alumni from our region or a similar background who attended Freie Universität Berlin?
Well, I also read that question, and I tried to take a look at our, maybe I can go to another website again. Here, this first one, the OSA, because there you find some of the, if you go to that website and you look for any study program, you can always find a point called perspectives. And at perspectives, you find a list of, I go back to the main page. You find a list of students who have making career somewhere. And I tried to find somebody with a background from Azerbaijan or maybe this kind of region, but actually I just had the chance to read the questions this morning, so I didn't find that fast. But maybe you can take a look yourself. So you go to osa.fu-berlin.de. So maybe one last sentence, I try to encourage you to try out to find yourself. I couldn't find like a success story with that specific background, I must say.
I'm interested to know if you have already caught anyone cheating with ChatGPT.
I'm not I am an lecture and orientation program, and it's difficult to find out those things. But the teachers here try to be, as I said, try to be open, trying to say, okay, we know this exists, we know you'll be using it anyway, so we want to encourage you, if you use it, just tell us what you used it for, so we can see if it's, or even help you to use it better than you use it right now. So it's not a good idea to doom it and say, don't use it, and you will get a penalty if you use it or something like that. I think that's not going to work out. So most teachers will be open to that and say, okay, we know you use it, so just tell us how you use it, and we will not tell you cheating. We will just try to also change the tasks that we offer, because we have to adapt to that. If we, you know what I mean, if we use different kind of questions, different kind of tasks, then AI can be used to answer questions in a different kind of way. And I think university, again, is a very open forum for new technologies and for changing technologies, and only a minority would be strict or be saying we don't use that, and most are open and say we have to try to integrate this thing to our learning and teaching methods.
Can you provide examples of any classes or the programs that usually offer the immersive hands-on learning experiences and possibly outside the traditional classroom setting?
So I didn't get all of the whole question. Could you maybe repeat? It's not you. I think the connection is not perfect, but I heard you, but I didn't hear the whole question.
Can you provide examples of any classes or programs that offer immersive hands-on learning experiences and hands-on learning experiences possible outside the traditional classroom settings?
Okay. I see. Yeah, I got the question. I would say most of the programs are like in the classroom. Like usually you have a lecture and you have a seminar and those traditional kind of things. And in natural sciences, you also have a lot of courses in the laboratory. But maybe a few examples where it's especially, as you called it, immersive maybe, or outside the traditional setting, is something like pharmacy, veterinary medicine, and we have also equine sciences. So for example, in equine sciences, equine is a science referring to horses, right? It's like horse medicine and horse feeding even, and horse reproduction and those kind of things. And so we have, like, outside of Berlin, maybe 20 to 30 kilometers away, so twice a week, the students of equine sciences go to that place to be with the horses and, learn on the subject. And the same in veterinary medicine. The first 2 semesters is very classical. You'll be in the university, in the classroom, but starting from the 5th semester, the 3rd year, you will be in the institute where the animals are. You will be, having a lot to deal with the animals directly. And I think those are kind of special. And also in something like pharmacy. And because in pharmacy, you have a lot of courses like in gardens, because you learn how the plants, to identify plants and flowers, and to find out what they have, like what they are made of, and what kind of things they have to make use for medical pills and everything. So those programs are a bit way more practical than, for example, 90% of the other programs where you basically just learn things in the classroom. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll ask the last question. It's, can you share any interesting or unique traditions or quirks specific to Freie Universität Berlin?
Well, traditions, we don't have that much traditions, as you may know from, I don't know, movies, or some, like, from maybe American campuses, something like that. But what we have is a summer festival each year in June. And the summer festival includes a campus run. So you can run 5 or 10 kilometers as a competition with other students and teachers. And also the summer festival includes a musical guests. We have some guests that are like musicians that are quite popular in Germany. but maybe don't say anything to you. Like Paula Hartmann was the guest we had last year, which is a quite well-selling artist in Germany. So yeah, the student or summer festival is something that is very specific. And also I would say very specific to my university is student initiatives. What I mean by that is that at each institute, students run their own cafe and they run their own advising. So if you have challenges during your studies, you can turn to other students. That's very specific here, that the students do a lot of the advising, a lot of the helping, a lot of support is done by the students.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
What's the main reason Germany prefers to use green energy instead of nuclear energy?
Ui, that's a very political question. I don't know if I can answer that. But the question was, why do the teachers? Could you repeat the first part of the question? Or you?
The main reason Germany prefers to use green energy instead of nuclear energy.
Yeah, that's a question that is not really part of the university's range. Hard to say why it is that way. It's a mindset that many people in Germany have, especially in the big cities like Berlin, is that I don't know, you should use energy that is not doing any harm to the environment. But of course, there's no perfect energy. I think, as I said, it's very political. So really, I'm sorry, I don't know if I can really answer the question.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, thank you so much for your time, Mr. Sebastian Mebes. I know today we had a lot of technical issues, so I really appreciate your patience a lot. Me studying in America, for example, it was very interesting to learn about your lottery ticket program, that it doesn't really go, like for us, we have like a wait list. So based on that wait list, you will get into the program. That's also weighted. So like it would be based on like your grades, your extracurriculars, all of those things. So it's very interesting to learn that you guys do it just based on luck. Again, thank you so much for your time and answering questions. I know that the presentation did have other resources that they can use also if they have questions that come up in the future.
Sure. Thank you for invitation
Thank you very
again. And yeah, have a nice day and a nice week, and hope to maybe see some one of you at the university one day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.